All right, so we start. So CS 188 of, here we will be covering a very small portion of it. Of course, none of it belongs to us. जितना उनका कोर्स स्टाफ होता है उतना अपने टोटल स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं. See, attendance is an issue everywhere. अपने लिख देते हैं यहाँ पे. सो व्हाट वाज मिड टर्म 1? हाउ मच? मिड टर्म 1 वाज 15 and midterm 2 is 15 and term is 35. Labs was labs कितना बोला था मैंने? 15. Okay. Labs 15 and then एक था अपने प्रोजेक्ट. Attendance, yeah, that's a good question. So प्रोजेक्ट 15, अटेंडेंस 5. हाँ, एंटम 30 करूं? आई यूजुअली कीप 15, 20, 35. तो अपनी तरफ से मैं 5 मार्क्स ऑलरेडी गिव अप कर चुका हूं. सो 15 हियर. अब ये 5 कैसे डिसाइड होंगे? 2 एब्सेंट इक्वल टू 1 मार्क. ओके, सो लेट्स से नहीं, 2 एब्सेंट्स इक्वल टू 1 मार्क कट जाएगा मतलब. ओके, सो लेट्स से टोटल 40 लेक्चर्स में से somebody was attended 38 or more, sorry 39 or 40, they will get 5. ऐसे करके 30 से नीचे वालों के 30 एंड 30 से नीचे वालों को 0. ओके, क्या बोल रहे हो? अब एक एक करके बोलो. ग्रेड ड्रॉप करा लो ना मत आके मतलब. लेकिन जो नहीं कराना चाह रहे हैं उनको रहने दो. 5 नंबर ही तो है. आई मीन समटाइम्स मतलब ग्रेड ड्रॉप में तो लोगों के 2-2 ग्रेड ड्रॉप हो जाते हैं. ओके, चलो. So this is what it is. हाँ, नहीं ये ठीक है. So this makes it 35, 35, right? All right, so we start. हाँ, 3 पे 1 brings you to 25. Right, and that makes it worse than the university policy. So I'll be asked this question anyway, that how is this your attendance policy better than university's policy? Okay, क्या बोल रहे हो?
आने आने पे प्लस 2 हो जाए, माइनस नहीं आने -1 ऐसा कुछ रेशियो।
हाँ तो आने पे ही तो मिलेंगे। नहीं बट देखो, दिस इज बेटर इन माई ओपिनियन कंपेयर, या फिर अटेंडेंस यूनिवर्सिटी वाली रख दूं, ग्रेड ड्रॉन। थोड़ा सा सोच लो, दिस इज फार बेटर देन दैट। देखो, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू थिंक दे विल गेट 5? हार्डली एनी। ओके, तो मोस्ट ऑफ दी जनता रहेगी कहीं 2 से 3 के आसपास। तो एक्चुअल में जो मार्क्स लॉस हो रहा है आपके, वो 2 से 3 मार्क्स का हो रहा है एटमोस्ट। 2 से 3 मार्क्स में यू मे और मे नॉट हैव ए ग्रेड चेंज एक्चुअली, बट यूनिवर्सिटी पॉलिसी में तो फिर वो ग्रेड चेंज में जाओगे ही जाओगे। नहीं समझे? आई बिलीव दिस इज बेटर देन दैट, बट इफ योर विश वी कैन चेंज इट इन द नेक्स्ट टाइम। ओके, हाँ। Now questions if you have any. Questions?
सर प्रोजेक्ट में क्या कैसा?
See, project is something usually two player game kind of thing. टिक टैक टो हो गया, that is the most common thing to do. टिक टैक टो, chess, right? But chess becomes a bit too much for 15%. हाँ. Questions? नहीं? चलो असाइनमेंट्स नो। हाँ, labs will do labs of this course itself, but since they have put this behind authentication wall, I'll have to see whether those assignments are available or not. Okay, but usually what I keep with labs is attend. So I usually keep every lab worth 5 marks, which may not translate to 5% here. So let's say 10 labs होने वाली है, and let's say labs will be graded out of, each lab is worth 5 marks. अब somebody who has just attended gets 2 marks, just attendance के 2 number. But if you do what we have assigned you, तो you get numbers between 3 to 5. Usually 4-5 में रहती है जनता, you have to work very hard to get a 3, but still होती जनता ऐसी भी. Okay? So usually इन 15 में से ये भी अटेंडेंस के मार्क्स ही मान लो एक तरीके से, बिकॉज आओगे तो 2 घंटे कुछ ना कुछ तो फिर करोगे ही. okay? तो फ्री के मार्क्स, इफ आई कैन काउंट दिस, ये एंड ये. ओके, कितने लोग ड्रॉप कर रहे हो? All right, what is AI? So if you don't have questions, we start the course. What is AI? मेरे को भी नहीं पता. Think like humans. Okay, more thing. So देखो one thing, I am no expert in anything, so don't think कि मेरा words are kind of final. Always argue, right? But so let's start with this here. I myself don't know the definition of AI. So एक आंसर मेरे पास आया है, you want to make machines think like human, something else, or what can be artificial intelligence?
Making response based on
Hmm?
making response just like
Making response, so responses like human. Anything else?
mimic human behavior.
Mimic, I'm dropping this word human. Mimic like nahi, mimic humans, okay? What else?
improving
Improving?
the experiences.
Improving through experiences, okay? I mean, I will write whatever you say. Anything else? थोड़ा तेज और हिंदी में भी बोल सकते हो. हाँ, परफॉर्म टास्क on, okay, perform tasks on its own. Anything else?
Perform tasks fast and efficient to reduce.
Faster and efficiently, I'll argue here. Why so?
वो improve करने में आगे.
Because even a calculator does things faster than a human beings. Would you like to call it AI? As such, no. Right? So just if you bring just the faster element, that's probably not enough to get there. In fact, it might be slower, right? Your trained algorithm might be slower in recognizing in an image that there is a car, but let's say your machine learning algorithm will take a few milliseconds, probably you won't. Yes. That's it. So how many of you are aware of the fact that EU has brought a law on regulating AI? Just know about it, that's it, right? So there one of the biggest problems has been, how do you actually define AI? And their definition, they start with this, nowhere in the document itself, but in the debates they start with this. We had a hard time defining AI, and they still believe whatever definition they have come up with has its own problems, okay? So we can't really define, but we'll try anyway. Think like human beings. So, all of us tend to give these answers about what is artificial intelligence. Nobody questions what is natural intelligence in the first place. So what is natural intelligence? Right, so all these questions, they take us to philosophy, okay, and we'll probably not go there, and we'll try to do away from philosophy as much as we can. It's a computer science course. We need to talk about things that we can prove, that we can give bounds upon, that we can write code for, and so on, okay. So think like human beings. What do you mean by thinking? Can two human beings, or do two human beings think alike?
Can, but usually don't.
But if you are making a machine, do you want its behavior to be in some sense predictable? Predictable in the sense that the outcome that you are expecting, right, that outcome should be there. Which path you take, we can talk about that later, right? But if you want to do 2 plus 2, it does not matter whether you want a human to do it or whether you want a calculator or a AI to do it, that answer should be same. Think like human beings, we'll talk about, ये next slides में आ जाएगा. What can AI do and what is this course? So just continue with whatever we have written here, because almost everywhere we see like human words is there. Perform task on its own, that is, we perceive AI like this, but if you think hard, it does not really make a definition of something. Text assistants, what do you think? What does ChatGPT do? Does it think like human beings? Does it think at all? Right? So something that has made to news so much and still we can't attribute thinking to it. It does not think. How does it work then?
It finds best case solution. It finds best case solution.
To? And what will that problem be? What does ChatGPT do? If you were to answer that in one sentence, what would that sentence be? Provide solution to your problems, but that's not what ChatGPT does. I'm asking technically what ChatGPT do. Generate text, okay, but I'm looking a bit better than just this. So ChatGPT, the ChatGPT that we get on our systems, that is already trained, right? So whenever we are giving any prompt, we are utilizing it at test level. So while OpenAI might be using that prompt to train it later, but at that moment it is in test time. Everybody agrees? Right. So ChatGPT, all it does is just predict the next token. For this class, token is not an important thing, but so I'll replace token with word. All ChatGPT does is predict the next word. Just by predicting next word, can you write infinite text? Right? Just keep on predicting the next word. So public imagination. For public, this is what AI is. None of it is even closer to what you had suggested here. Or it is? Is it closer to any of this?
So, but one can argue we think based on our past experiences. So, CBT being trained on data, predicting the next word of a test data based on its trained data.
Right, that is true.
So, it's part of thinking what's coming next.
It brings us to this question, what do you mean by thinking itself? I don't want to go there. What do you mean by thinking itself? That's why I'm saying I don't want to go there, because we can have a lot of discussion on what is thinking without really realizing ki what did we just talk about. So text assistant, image generation, that same thing, right? You give DALL-E 2, 3, what else? Midjourney. You give prompts and you get images. 454 billion USD globally, this is what AI is. So again, this is all going in public imagination, ChatGPT, those that generate images. Economy, 454 billion USD globally, this is how it grows and so on. Politics. There is a lot of politics going on. How can AI be used in politics? Huh? Hate speeches. What else? Deep fakes, right? I think everybody has seen that deep fake of Obama, right? Obama. Right. So it impacts politics. This is an important thing, but unfortunately I will not be part of this course. So what is happening in this particular slide? Anybody knows about the New York Times suit against OpenAI?
Yes.
What did they do?
There was a copyright like of some AI model generated and which
Some ChatGPT.
I didn't know about that. But like some AI model ChatGPT generated an image which they claimed that it was against some copyright claims and they filed a suit against OpenAI.
Right? Anybody else? Right. So what is issue with generation and copyright? OpenAI has tens of suits pending against it in this regime, copyright protection. Whereas EU, so okay, I'll come to that later. So what is the issue here exactly? What is the issue with ChatGPT and copyright? How many of you are authors here who write something, blogs, whatever? Artists? Musicians? Nice. All right. So if let's say some piece that you have come up with, be it a piece of text, be it a piece of art, be it a piece of music, whatever, you put your hard work into it, come up with something new. Okay. So what NYT said is, New York Times, that ChatGPT is trained on how much data? 1.2 billion. No, parameters. No, I am talking about the size of the text. 40 billion what? You are still not even maybe 1%. So it was, so there are other data sets like Common Crawl and all these things. ChatGPT was trained on, GPT-2 was trained on web text, and this was trained on Common Crawl, which is more than 40 TB data size. Okay, so the number of tokens will be huge. Now, AI generated art lacks copyright protection. So the problem with these generating things is, in that suit NYT shows lots of text, not just one sentences or two, maybe continuously 2-3 pages spit out by ChatGPT as it is from their article, right? So why would NYT not want ChatGPT to do that? But if you are a publisher and if ChatGPT is giving your thing as it is, what problem you may have?
It may not cite them, like it may not give them.
So first of all, we know ChatGPT does not cite anything, right? So what's wrong with it? But nobody, I mean, I'm not saying nobody, but you probably wouldn't file a suit against Google NYT probably wouldn't file a suit against Google in the same kind of thing. Why? So if you go on Google search for something, a link comes and NYT has no problem with it. Why? Because your link will pop up, the moment you click, user goes to NYT site, and NYT actually wants that, because if you bring traffic to my site, you bring revenue through ads, right? So NYT would want that. NYT would not want ChatGPT to spit its articles as it is, because who did all the hard work? NYT. So let's say if NYT is publishing an article about, some remote bizarre island in Pacific Ocean, who incur all this cost? NYT. They spent a team, they send a team there are, transportation cost, and then all these costs included, and then they got maybe a series of 3 articles, right? People came to read that article, it generated a lot of revenue through ad, through subscription and everything. So NYT's, whatever NYT had, whatever this whole deal had cost them, that is probably, they have recovered 10 times of it, which is fine. But if tomorrow ChatGPT comes, right, it starts spitting the whole article as it is, they will have a problem with it, because no subscription paid. So in fact, you ask it to talk, so you talk about an article to ChatGPT, it will give you first few lines, and then it will say, see, I can't give you the whole story. And then you ask it, as we know how to, bypass all these checks. Eventually, so just give me the next paragraph, it will give you. Just give me the next more, and next paragraph karke you can get the whole article, and so on, right? So tens of cases pending against just OpenAI itself in this regime. How many of you believe in this right now? New research shows that robots are coming for jobs. My take on this is that I don't understand this. What is your take on this? When will AI start taking jobs, and which ones? Chalo, but this was a big news and really good one, right? What did AlphaFold do? DeepMind system for predicting 3D structure of proteins is among 5 recipients of science most lucrative awards. And abhi DeepMind का कुछ आया है, like last week. I've forgotten. Abhi something they have done groundbreaking again. All right, so we have a lot of it. Okay, but what actually is AI? The same question. 1970s movies, it has been there in movies since very long time. So, okay. So this part is missing in their slides, but I think this is a good point to start in the next class. Okay. Anything that you want to talk about, whatever we have done until now, or about course logistics, or about anything else. So what they have here in these 4 quadrants is think like humans, act like humans, okay, think rationally, act rationally. So finally this thing that will go within our course will do away with thinking, will do away act like human beings, will just keep one thing which is here, but I don't want to formally start the course mathematics today. So we'll use the term rational in a very specific technical way. I think we'll start it from the next class. Any questions? If not, we are done for today. Done.